it's like I'm gonna spit some real shit for y'all right now. It's like, look, like when you grow up in the trenches, it's like society treats you different, man. Like, look at you different. It's like, man, you coming from where we from, man, we were on the come with it.
Look, they treat you different when you from the trenches. Bitch, I didn't grow up in no burb, I grew up in the village. Tryna get that shit up off the curb, I turned it to a menace. I wasn't hanging around with no girls, bitch, I was hitting fences. Childhood trauma, take it back to about the age of 9. Gunshot sounding like fireworks on 4th of July. I told my sisters and cousins that we gon' be alright as long as we stay solid, protect each other through eerie nights. Childhood trauma, my mama, she worked a 9 to 5. Still managed to come home and feed us when it was dinner time. Still managed to curve on the visas up in the winter time. So back to school, we was popping like the beginning times. I won't let this childhood trauma try to take me out. It made me who I am today, won't let it stress me out. But babe, I learned from my mistakes, I'ma go another route. Got some cake for a rainy day when it's another drop. Yeah, I grew up in the ghetto, I ain't ashamed of it. And I struggled on different levels, I got my pain from it. Niggas that die tryna live this life, tryna build a name from it. I hope I make it out alive, I ain't the same from it. I grew up in the ghetto, I ain't ashamed of it. And I struggled on different levels, I got my pain from it. Niggas that die tryna live this life, tryna build a name from it. I hope I make it out alive, I ain't the same from it. 100 rounds, 100 shots, aim it at your block. And twisties on your head to make it rock. And do the bumper clock, that's word to Allah, me father. If the drama fold, I swear they need to free my cousin Low. Boy, ain't never told, but I can't say the same for you niggas. Niggas really hoes, be running the same marathon for years. Niggas really slow, ain't really got that money like you saying. Niggas really broke, you niggas all in your feelings, y'all be hating. Niggas really fold, but I can't say the same for you niggas. Niggas really hoes, be running the same marathon for years. Niggas really slow, ain't really got that money like you saying. Niggas really broke, you niggas all in your feelings, y'all be hating. Niggas really fold. I grew up in the ghetto, I ain't ashamed of it. And I struggled on different levels, I got my pain from it. Niggas that die tryna live this life, tryna build a name from it. I hope I make it out alive, I ain't the same from it. I grew up in the ghetto, I ain't ashamed of it. And I struggled on different levels, I got my pain from it. Niggas that die tryna live this life, tryna build a name from it. I hope I make it out alive, I ain't the same from it.
Wow, y'all got to hear the whole song this time, man. That's Mac. Deja Lewis. Met her in CIW, California Institution for Women. If you guys know Deja, give her props and let her know that she is my opening song, my theme music. A lot of people think that my daughter actually raps that. My daughter doesn't rap that. As a matter of fact, y'all think that the person that's my daughter is not my daughter. But let me give all honor and praise to God. I'm grateful to be here, happy to be alive. It is 100 degrees outside here in Los Angeles. South Los Angeles is that. It's not even the valley, man. It's about 100 degrees on Crenshaw Boulevard, and that ain't cool. So, as always, I want to just give recognition to Sister Heron. She's, one of the seniors in the community, started Gang Talk Radio, which actually got me on the radio on AM, and then she moved over to Morris Media Podcast. So thank you, Sister Heron. And with that, I open the door for my young sister. People think it's my daughter, but she's not my daughter. She's my young sister. And young sister, Sister Young. What's your name? Tell the people who you are.
You already know.
Dog Whisperer.
The Dog Whisperer. Keilah Noel. That's me.
Oh, your middle name's Noel?
It is.
Wow. Yep. The girl I used to date back in the days with Noel. That's a trigger. Now I'm heartbroken all over again.
Just call me Keilah.
Yeah, I'm going to call you Keilah. All right, go ahead.
What you want to know?
Everybody want to know who you are. People all in my, not the inbox, but they all on Instagram, YouTube talking about, hey, man, your daughter could rap, man. Your daughter cool. And this dude who legally is blind since 2012, he ain't been able to see since 2012. He been calling me, asking me, what's up with you?
Oh, for real?
Yeah. And he can't even see, but he said,
wow.
all right.
I'm pressured like that.
So people want to know, like, who you is. Now I ain't going to lie. I see your Instagram post, and there's 2 pictures that are like, what Tina Marie say? Ooh, wee. It's 2 of them that's like, ooh, wee. So tell people who you are.
I'm just a young woman from Inglewood out here.
Inglewood?
Yep. Training dogs, working, trying to help my community and give back. That's what I do.
Why you say you're trying to help your community? What do you do to give back to help your community?
I'm in the process of developing a nonprofit organization. So I think I mentioned it on my first episode here. The goal is to teach curriculum in schools that we really need to be taught, like financial literacy, dealing with law enforcement, emotional intelligence, energy.
What is that? What is emotional intelligence? How can I be intelligent emotionally? Yeah, emotionally means I'm out of control if I'm emotional.
That's not true.
If I'm emotional, that means I'm crying, I'm trying to fight, I'm passionate about this, but that is all emotions.
Passionate.
That means I'm
passionate
serious.
Is not, but you take it as a negative. There's a negative connotation, and there's not.
Okay,
There's
tell me the
power.
positive.
I think that there's power in being vulnerable and being able to understand your emotions and maintain and cope with them and feel what it is. Because if you're not feeling it, then you're suppressing it, and then you're just gonna blow up in a negative way in the future, most likely. So you harbor all of these emotions, and then one day, right? Whereas you can identify, okay, this person's actions, for example, made me feel this way. Why did it make me feel that way? And how do I proceed now so that in the future it doesn't trigger me that way?
Okay, so breaking down my triggers and finding out what makes
That's a part of emotional intelligence.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So what you just explained, though, the exploding and it all bottled up and all that, that's the same way to make pruno in jail. Did you know that? So we have a bag and we put all the fruits, the orange juice and all that, the bread, everything goes in the bag. And what happens, sit the bag up underneath my bunk and it started expanding and growing with the heat, and it grows and grows. So you know what I got to do? I got to burp the baby. I got to open the bag and let it out and then close the bag.
Does it smell good?
It smells good to me because I'm in jail, but no, it's nasty. It's rotten fruit. But it smells good because I know.
So you land on top of it?
Yes, rotten fruit. Yeah, but it's a beautiful thing when just knowing in a couple of days I'll be able to drink it and get drunk. Rotten fruit.
Hey,
okay,
you
go ahead.
Do what you got to do.
I interrupted you, but you were talking about emotional intelligence.
Yeah, I mean, so it's just a few different classes that, I feel like are really necessary for our youth to succeed, but we're not taught that unless you go to a certain type of school. Like I went to school in Texas and they offered some great classes, and then I went to school. I finished high school here in Inglewood.
Inglewood High?
City Honors.
City Honors.
And I mean, if you from Inglewood, you know what City Honors look like. So we had great teachers, some great teachers, a handful, but minimal resources for stuff like that. So
all right.
That's the goal. And then training dogs in the community, making it affordable. I was talking to one of my clients the other day. They were complaining about how expensive it is. It's extremely expensive. But everybody has a dog, and they can't afford to get training. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Well, you got 12, 13, 14, 15 kids, so why would you
Some
want a
of
dog?
them was dogs. You're right.
There you go.
All right.
I can't train those. But I really, really want to make it affordable for our community.
How much does it normally cost to have a dog trained from beginning to end?
Individual
Shots
sessions
and all that stuff.
Well, that's not training, but training for an individual session, a lot of times people are charging $100 per session. If you want to board and train your dog, meaning you give the trainer your dog for a few weeks, that could be $3,000, $1,500 for 3 weeks. It just depends.
I ain't spend that much on them kids, man.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
They go play football, man, and it costs like $800, and I give them $2, and they have to go fundraise for the rest. Can the dogs fundraise for their own payment for money and stuff?
If the owner go to work, start hustling, figure it out.
Right. Man, do you think or do you not think that's a lot of money?
I think that's a lot of money for our community. It's certain communities that can afford that, Right. But my goal is to cater to Inglewood, South LA, and people who can't necessarily afford that expensive ass training.
Right.
Yeah.
So let me tell you the crazy part about Inglewood. Real similar to the jungles, real similar to Pasadena. So in Inglewood, I can go, let's say, to the dunes. I can hang out on Inglewood Avenue. Let me say that. I can hang out on Inglewood Avenue around Hyde Park, and I could have low-income housing. I could walk across Centinela and be in the middle of homes that are at $1 million.
Yeah.
So here it is that I could be paying anywhere from $500, $600, $700 a month for rent, when rent over there is really about $2,000, $25,000, $28,000, and walk down the street and be in $1 million community.
Yep.
That's the same thing in Pasadena. I could be in the Snake Pits or the King Manors, and I could walk around the corner and there's a $3-4 million house. And the same thing in the Jungles. We done sat at Jim Gilliam Park and looked up. Do you know what's up on top of the Jungles? Them big old giant houses on the hill. You know, we sitting there eating hot dogs and hamburgers like, man, I wonder what they eating.
Yeah.
Steak and lobster and all that. So do you think that because there is a divide, and most of it is the black community, Inglewood is not so much as it used to be, but Inglewood is still have a little black culture. So does the Jungles. So does Pasadena. Do you think it's a divide when there are people who have unlimited resources and are black, and then there are people who have limited resources or are black, and they coexist in the same community settings?
Yeah.
Do you think it shares a misleading? It's a misleading outlook for our community. What do you think? Especially Inglewood. Let's just focus Inglewood. I'll deal with Pasadena and Jungles later.
I mean, I think that there's negative and positive to it. For the positive, I think it's amazing in your community to be able to see what is achievable right there across the street from you. But also it can be, you know, a negative thing, a tough thing to look at on a daily basis. If, you know, you on one side of the street and you see over there, they living like that, right? And then, I mean, even if you look at our schools, Morningside, Inglewood,
they about to take Morningside, aren't they?
We got this beautiful new stadium, right? But look at Inglewood's football field, for example. Right. They just redid it, but I have been complaining about that for a while. Like, they're playing on, they don't even have grass. Right. Like, it's dirt, you know, but we have this gajillion-dollar stadium, so that part of it is frustrating. When there's, you know, even members of our community, black people who have wealth and stuff, are they giving back to their community or are they not? You know, those are questions. But at the same time, for me, like, sometimes I train or watch people's dogs in, like, View Park, Windsor Hills, and when I'm walking through that neighborhood, I'm like, wow, this is incredible because it's all my people. And I'm like, this is what I want one day. This is where I want to live. I used to think my dream house, I have a picture of it. I know the address. It's on Summit Drive in Hollywood Hills or Beverly Hills. I passed it one day and I was just,
it ain't a dream house if you don't know if it's in Hollywood or Beverly Hills.
That don't matter. 1158 Summit Drive. That's what I do know. I think it's Beverly Hills. So I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, this is where I want to live. This is my dream house. I want to be here. I want to buy this house from this owner one day. Mm-hmm. Then I went and I'm walking a dog in View Park, and it was beautiful homes, and it's black people outside, garages open, watching football and stuff, and I'm like, nah, this is where I want to be. Like, this is where I want to be. People. Yep, exactly. Right. So yeah, there's definitely positive and negative, you know, to something like that.
So what are you doing to reach the dream? Not your goals, but the dream. So do you have a difference in dreams and goals?
No, I think your dreams should be goals.
No, your dreams should be goals.
Yeah.
Not mine. So look, my goals are achievable. It's no question. I achieve them. I set out a list and I achieve them. My dreams are far beyond. I dream one day to have a city, a Skipp city, where I run everything. It's not going to be any of this, any of that. We ain't fooling with them. They can't come. They can't. You know what I mean? It's going to be people at the gate of the city like, hey, if you're with that foolishness, you can't come in here. So that's a dream, to have so much land and property that I can create my own city.
But can't that be a goal?
I would say my goals would be all the things that lead up to that. My goals would be all the money I have to build, the relationships I have to have, everything I have to do to start building the property. Those are the goals to building this. To find the land cheap enough, because if it's in LA, it ain't going to happen. You know, making sure it's reachable, attainable. So those are the goals. But the dream, I may not get to it for 150 years, and I probably only got 35, 40 more years left. So I can get real close, but maybe someone else in my family will reach that dream, and maybe not me. But I still dream. I dream of that. I think that house at 222 left on Summit Drive, whatever city it's in, I think that's a goal, and not a dream. You get it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can respect that opinion.
So what are you what are you doing to achieve the goals that you set? How you gonna get there? Give me the blueprint. What freeway you taking? What street is it? You got to ride a bus or what?
I mean, to be honest, I'm still working that out. It's an ongoing process to figure out my moves because I have a lot of different hustles and interests, and so. What
kind of hustle? You sell weed?
Why would I say that?
I don't know. You say you got hustle
sometimes.
You sound like
a narc. No, anything, like, it's mostly surrounding dogs, but I have, like, little, you're going to get on my head.
What, you have little what?
Talents. Like, when I say little, I just mean I don't do them, like, full time. It's just here and there, you know, I dibble and dabble in, like, graphic design. I'm good with marketing, coming up with ideas like that. So just little ways to make money, like little side hustles, but nothing that I want to
like make money. So that made me thought you sell weed. You hang
no, it's just I mean? Just side hustles, you know.
Okay,
but well, I got a lot.
Don't dance with it then, because when you dance with it, I'm thinking, oh, she got a weed side.
No, it's just it's just things that I do to multiple streams of income.
All right. Well,
so I got, you know, I got my Roth IRA, got my stocks investments, and. You know, so but I'm still trying to figure that out myself. I don't even have a clear answer I could give you.
All right. What does it take? Do you know what it takes to get that clear answer, to get that mindset? Like, this is what I want to do. And I mean, here I'm saying that to you, and it took me to be 40. And I talked to this dude yesterday who's 41 before he got, you know what I mean? So it's not like it comes to me at 25, 28, 30, 35. I know what it is, but what are the steps?
I can only speak for myself. Something that I struggle with is consistency when it comes to my interests and, like, self-discipline. I have a real issue with self-discipline. So,
okay, I get it. You're a shopper. You take your money and you go spend it. You buy a lot of
That's
things.
One thing, yeah. Okay. But I spend it on things that I feel are going to help my brand, whatever I'm trying to build. So, an example, my dog is like, it's going to sound messed up, but I'm marketing my dog.
Right.
Because he's gorgeous.
He had the blue rag on the other day.
I got, clothing. So I spent a lot of money on him. A lot of money on him. And it's a culture. Like, having a Cane Corso, there's a culture behind that. And
so that's really, I don't want to cut you off or speak for you, but that's an investment?
Yeah.
So, all right. That's different.
Yeah, but so at the same time, though, sometimes I need to dial it back. Like, okay, you don't need to do this right now.
He got like 12. He got Balenciaga sweaters and stuff like that.
I don't dress my dog. Okay. But, yeah, just materials, you know, embroidered stuff with his name on it, you know, stuff like that. Collars and things. Leather. Leather's expensive. So I got to get him a leather vest for protection training because obviously, you know, it's it won't, like, rip like a regular fabric nylon vest or something like that. So that's hundreds of dollars. I've been putting it off because I'm trying to have that discipline. Like, I don't need it right now when he's large, you know. So it's just stuff like that. And then even away from the dog, just other parts of my life where I'm, you know, spending money on stuff. So that's what I need to dial back, start really saving better.
Okay, but you're the same person that want to go into high schools and do financial literacy.
Exactly.
Right. So,
but I'm not gonna be the teacher.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. I'm not an expert in anything that I maybe interacting with law enforcement.
Okay. But, well, how are you an expert interacting with law enforcement? You know, I used to be inexperienced in interacting with law enforcement, and that was from like 1977 to 2009. I was so inexperienced that either I was on probation or parole, in jail or in prison, or on the run for all those years. And I got good at it January 21st, 2005 when I was released. I said, I ain't never going back, and I ain't went back. So I believe now I'm an expert on how to deal with law enforcement. And the expert is stay away from them.
Right.
So how are you the expert?
Well, my father was with LAPD for over 30 years. So that's one way. I actually had dreams of becoming a police officer until Trayvon Martin. And then the ripple effect after that of Philando Castile and, all the way up to George
Sandra
Floyd.
Bland, Breonna Taylor.
Exactly.
Lakeisha Wilson.
Yep.
Feel like say their name. Say their name.
For
Stephen
real.
Eugene Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Lakeisha Wilson's brother got killed today on 79th and Hoover. So she was the lady who was in jail, and she was supposed to go to jail, but Easter happened, so she went to jail. She went to jail, but then she went to court the day after Easter, the week after Easter, and no one had told the family that she had died in custody. Yeah, it was horrible. So her little brother just got killed today. That's horrible. So my condolences to the family and the family for the other young man who was killed last night. Man, that's horrible. But go ahead. We talking about your daddy, talking about law enforcement.
Yeah.
And I done bust a left turn. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. Needed to be said. But I got, arrested protesting and for George Floyd when it was like tens of thousands of people out there in Hollywood.
And they took you to jail.
They did.
Why?
They did me dirty.
You was going through the glass at Macy's? What was you doing?
Nah, I ain't that type. But I was actually on my way to my car to leave because they had, curfew. So I'm on camera.
You was younger than curfew?
What?
Were you younger than curfew at that time?
No.
Oh, it wasn't a 10 o'clock, 18 years old and under. It was the curfew for the whole city.
No. It was a whole city curfew.
All right. I was just getting clear.
So I'm on camera. I had my GoPro. I was doing a lot of documentation because I was with the Black Republic at that time, the other podcast. And so I'm on camera saying, like, I'm not trying to get arrested. I'm about to go home. Well, we're on this block, and LAPD was lined up, in their riot gear. A bunch of stores had just been looted. All them people was gone, though. They left. We're all, on this block. So they got one intersection blocked off, lined up. And they came out of nowhere and trapped us on the other intersection where I'm walking to. So, boom, we're all trapped. It's media. Like, most of us are media, innocent people, like, just going, wherever we head into. All the looters had already left. They were way gone. So I'm yelling. I got this video on my Instagram. I'm yelling at them like, they saying, back up, get out of here, get out of here. I'm like, where can we go? Y'all done blocked us in. There's nowhere for us to go. And he said, you step any closer. I don't want to get the words wrong, but he threatened me. One of the officers threatened me. He said, you get any closer, whatever is going to happen. So I'm like, what the hell? So there's nothing we could do. We all, one by one, got arrested. It was horrible. We spent hours on the ground waiting to get loaded up onto the bus. But it was hella cool because once we got on the bus, we started singing The Wheels on the Bus Go Round and Round. All of us.
Oh, man, y'all was going to kindergarten, man. Y'all wasn't going to penitentiary.
We had a good time. We had a good time on our bus ride.
Yeah, that's not the reality of going to jail.
No, it's not. I didn't go to jail. And
I'm thankful.
They took us down to the station and gave us our tickets or whatever. But, it was quick release. Took hours. We were zip tied for like 6 hours. But, we ain't spend no time behind the cell.
Oh, man. So how did your father take that? How was the family atmosphere with his daughter being detained?
I called him and told him I'm going to be arrested. And he's just like, okay. That was it. And it's crazy because when I talked to him, I let him know I'm going to protest. And he said, if you get arrested peacefully protesting, I support that. And I was shocked because my dad is very black and white, like black and blue. Yeah, black and blue, low key.
LAPD, of course.
So I was actually kind of shocked. But then when reality, it happened, he didn't take it that way because I was on live pretty much the whole time. And I'm not going to lie, I was talking some shit to one of these goofy looking ass officers. Like, his helmet was on and it was all crooked. He had one eye covered. I mean,
He probably got hit with something earlier.
Bro was standing there goofy as fuck. So I'm talking hella shit. I'm not even going to lie. Like, And then one of my cousins, little narc, screen recorded it and sent it to my dad. And so he felt I was extremely disrespectful. And, you know, but I saw some really traumatic things that day. I seen people getting shot with beanbags in the face, innocent people, bleeding like it looked like a war zone. You know, we got all these cars on fire. We got people getting shot with beanbags left and right, all kind of stuff. And so my emotions were like, crazy, and I wasn't handling it the way that I normally am. So you didn't
have, what do you call it, the emotional intelligence
I didn't.
that day?
No, because I had never been in that situation, right? So I didn't even have the knowledge to like, okay, how do I cope with this traumatic stuff that you see? You're trying to get me. I know what you're doing, but I'm being vulnerable, and there's power in that. You know, I didn't understand how to cope with the trauma that I was seeing. I'm giving first aid to people who are bleeding from being innocent people. Hands up. I got it all on camera, you know. So, yeah, I was talking my shit. Like, these cops were hiding in stores in the dark with their guns drawn. Not beanbag guns, none of that. Guns drawn, waiting for looters to go in. Trying to catch them like that. And I'm like, that's not cool. Why not? Y'all lined up on the streets anyway. Why not just line up in front of the window, make sure nobody go in? But y'all hide in the dark. So
that's one of the tactics that they used to use that I didn't even know that they used anymore.
Yeah.
Where, you know, they used to even take cars. They would have stolen cars. Bait cars. And they put them out in different areas. So, you know, or one officer on a motorcycle would hide behind the bushes, look down the street at the stop sign. So that's one of the things they did. They didn't want to stop things from happening. They wanted to catch people doing things. So that's the difference. And when people say defund the police and this and that, and I really don't align with eliminating them, but eliminate some of the tactics that they have that hurts the community.
Yeah.
You know, let them be detectives and investigators, and but don't try to harm the community. Don't victimize the community, you know?
Yeah, personally, I understand, you know, defunding the police, but abolish the police. I just don't have a grasp on how society functions without police officers because, you know, if I'm being real, I seen a video LAPD posted of a woman actively stabbing another woman, killing her with scissors. And it's like, okay, in that situation, you walk up and you see this, who do you call if we don't have police?
Right. So
legit, I can't imagine. Like, who do you, a counselor?
Well, no, so there should be community members that can get ahead of stuff like that.
I agree.
There should be community members who are trained to deal with situations like that. So when you talk about stabbing and things that are up close and personal, I think that it's something that maybe we could deal with ambassadors, with intervention workers, with trained individuals in the community who know how to deal with it, even at our schools. I don't think we need school police. We need individuals at the school who can be on campus and deal with stuff. But I think when you're talking about mass shooting, when you're talking about people with various weapons and firearms, that's when the police are necessary. This is what, to me, this is what they're trained to do. This is what they're trained to, you know, even do their investigating, detectives and stuff like that. So I think they have a purpose, but it's not to victimize the community.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
100%. So, yeah, I think, you know, drawing back to the original question, which is in schools, you know, teaching that your laws too, your rights. Understand, I'm not an expert by any means, but I think it's really important. You know, if you're recording a situation and a cop tells you, oh, you need to back up, you can't record, that's a lie. But some people don't understand that. They don't know. They're just going to listen, you know, because they don't want the conflict, which I understand. But I think it's important to, you know, understand your rights too for our youth to understand.
Right. So before this, you were doing another podcast. You were with another group. What was that group? What kind of things were you guys doing? Were you guys activists or what?
Somewhat.
I still got the shirt.
Yeah. It was called the Black Republic. I was working with a guy who goes by the name of Bleep. He runs a page.
You know what bleep means? It's a curse word, so they just bleep it out.
They bleep it out. Yep. That was his thing. So, you know, he doesn't like his identity to be known. He runs a page on Instagram that has like over 100,000 followers, I think. But, yeah, we were bringing guests to the podcast to talk about various situations like LASD gangs. We brought on the lawyer. Our first episode was one of the lawyers representing one of the sheriff officers, the whistleblower, which was awesome.
What was that? What's the name? Cecil Rambo?
No.
I
You
know it
killing
ain't
me.
called Tanaka.
You killing me. The officer?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember the lawyer's name either. I have a bad memory, low key. But yeah, like we who else? We had you on there.
Mm-hmm.
We had a bunch of guests. We had an amazing teacher on there who talked about students and what they go through in the classroom, and yeah, it was just bringing light to situations that were happening and educating. We had a whole episode on voting and the importance in educating on voting, what terms mean. We broke it down for people. Yeah, so that's what we would do.
All right. So what do you do here at the Keilah show?
At the Skipp and Keilah show. The same thing, really.
You're a producer?
Pretty much.
Yes.
You know, trying to stay behind the scenes, but you don't
What are
reel
the
me
people
in.
saying on there?
I don't know.
What
Peace
is
and
it?
blessings.
Oh.
Peace and blessings right
My
now.
battery died, so I can't see what they're saying on there. So I don't know if there's a bunch of questions for you or not.
No, not yet.
All right.
I don't think. It's not loading right.
All right. Well, you got to tell the people how to get in touch with Keilah and what are some of the things you
I
might
changed
have
my
coming
Instagram
up.
name.
What is your Instagram name now?
It's the letter K, number 9, Keilah. K9 Keilah. My name is spelled Keilah.
That makes you a dog, Keilah.
No.
If you're a K9 Keilah.
That's true, actually.
So that makes you, and you're a woman, so that makes you a
Bitch!
biche. That makes you a biche.
No, that's just, you know, I'm a dog person. So
Alright.
that's what it is. I wanted to make it easier for right now.
Okay.
Cause I was talking to Clover and telling him about his name. And mine had
Did he
periods
tell you why?
and what?
Why he's a Clover?
Yeah.
Okay.
But his Instagram name was super complicated. It still is.
Right.
Can't find it.
Right,
Like, so,
right.
like, let me make mine just K9 Keilah. Boom.
Yeah.
That's what I do. So.
All right, K9 Keilah. You know, maybe we can get some people to call in. So listen.
Yeah, they
if
need
you
to come
guys-
talk to you.
If you guys want to
What
know,
y'all want to know
listen,
about Skipp, though?
Man, if y'all want to talk to Keilah, matter of fact, can I get the number? I can't even see nobody.
The
Is it
number
around
up there.
There it is, right there. Listen, this is her cell phone number. If you guys want to talk to Keilah, I need you to call in 323-815-4204.
That's the hotline.
It's 323 area code 815-4204. Need y'all to call in and talk to Keilah, man. She got
Let's talk to
dogs
Skipp.
and-
How was your day today?
Oh, wow. It was hot. It was 100 and something degrees out there in L.A., and it was...
Yeah. Disrespectful.
Yeah, it was, man. It's not supposed to be like this. And, you know, I mean, I get up at 6 in the morning, so when it's hot like this, by 11 o'clock, my deodorant isn't working anymore. Yeah, so then
You
people
need
are
some better
offended.
deodorant.
So people are offended. No, only on days like this. You
Okay.
know?
Yeah.
So people are offended. Is that Skipp in here? Like, yeah, it's me. But I saw this guy.
I wasn't going to say nothing, but.
Yeah, no, I
didn't
went
wanna
home.
be.
So you'd be lying to say I went home and hit with the alcohol scrub pads, you know. But I saw this guy that I've known, and he was buying some material to go up underneath his house and fix his plumbing and stuff. And I've been knowing him for years. And about 8 years ago, he was 82 years old, and he was working on his roof. So I said, come on, Percy, man. What are you doing? He said, well, man, I'm about to fix the pipes. I'm about to climb up underneath the house. And I said, when will you be 90? He said, June 18th, I'll be 90. And he was
Wow.
picking up some stuff. So all these people who are challenged, not physically challenged, but lazily challenged, man, this dude is 90 years old. He never sold his house. The house is across the street from him, going for $1 million. And he says, Skipp, I want to sell my house and get $1 million, but I don't have nowhere to go, so I'm just going to stay there. He said, I'll never see $1 million because I'm not moving.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, man, that's good. We need you to stay in the community.
My uncle's the same way. He lives off of La Cienega and Cadillac. He got a home back there, and he's
No.
gotten a lot of offers, but he ain't giving it up.
No, and he shouldn't. That's probably worth Much more than, excuse me.
Yeah, I think it's at 1.2.
It's
right
probably
now.
more if it's over there.
Yeah.
Because houses over here in L.A. are at 1.2, so Cadillac, that's a rich area.
It's a blessing when you can pass these houses on to your
Right.
families.
Yeah, see, if I die right now, man, my kids will be fighting over that second call van. Not knowing second call gonna get it, man. Y'all can't get that.
Mm-hmm.
Or my CD collection, but everybody got the fire
Yeah, we
sticks
don't need
and
that.
yeah, you don't even want my CDs no more.
Nope. That's all you got to offer?
I got a lot of second call shirts though.
I need
Different
one.
colors. They all fade. I got one in the trunk. Don't
Let's
say
go.
nothing.
I need that.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I don't. I have a legacy to leave my children, but it's not a financial legacy. Yeah, they're gonna be broke. But the same thing happened. Same thing happened to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He went around the world and he did so much for so many people. And when he died, all he left his family was alone. You know, other people funded that. Malcolm X as well. He wasn't able to, generate an income. Dr. Melina Abdullah was on a Instagram this morning, and she talked about Cal State LA pays her bills. She said, people think because I'm the face of Black Lives Matter and I'm out here as an activist, she said, I don't get any money from any of that. She said, I get paid from Cal State LA. And a lot of people don't know with me, they see me in a lot of documentaries and all that. Man, I volunteer for most of the things I do. Even the podcast here doesn't pay. But what I get paid for is I do domestic violence, anger management, parenting classes. So that's how I survive. But everybody's like, man, the city give you all that money. And there's some Belizean brothers who say, oh, Skipp, man, you got the money and you quit, man. You ran away from us. What? Y'all my people, man. I ain't run from you. But they think I got a pocket full of money and that, I go home at night and throw the money in the air and lay in the bed and stuff. And, man, it's just not true.
So you feel like leaving a legacy is better than a financial one?
No. I think what Rockefeller did, what the Rothschilds did, what Henry Ford did, their family has a legacy and a financial legacy. There's no going back from that. There's no, they don't have to go to work for anybody. The Rothschilds have never worked for anyone. Yeah. Neither will the Rockefellers. Neither will the son of Mr. Trump. Donald Trump never have to go to work because of what his daddy built. So now, what the little duck name, his other little son, he don't have to go to work because of the money that his dad has. So there's a legacy. The lady who was Maria Shriver, she is, with the ketchup people. And, that's her family. She's a Kennedy. But her family has Heinz ketchup. So it's like, man, they don't have to work because of the actions that they did.
Would you do anything different if you could go back then?
Yes, I probably would. I probably wouldn't be a nonprofit. I probably would have done something to build a legacy. I probably would have started off not going to jail and wasting all that time, but I would have built some kind of financial, definitely would have had property. LA area property, houses everywhere, that type of thing. Maybe transitional housing, maybe domestic violence shelters, maybe just renting out houses or whatever. But I would have probably went into real estate and had a lot of real estate if I'd had the opportunity. I wouldn't have been going back and forth to jail and all that crazy stuff. And at one time I'm not going to say I had money, but I had money to where I could put down payments and do stuff like, some affordable things to make things happen. So, but because I didn't have that financial literacy, I thought money was going to keep coming. So I got a Cadillac, I got low riders, I had, I had stuff, because that's what was important then, stuff.
Man, can I tell you, I used to be a sneakerhead. And so when I was starting in high school, I was collecting J's, whatever I wanted. I was living with my parents, so all my money's going toward shoes. That's it. And it continued in college because I had a dorm. So I'm making, I'm working, but I ain't really had no expenses, nothing to really pay for. So I'm just buying shoes. And I moved back down to LA after college, after I graduated. And I had a storage unit for 1 month. 1 month is all I needed. My brother was moving out. I moved in with my parents for a little bit. So he moved out. I went to my storage unit to get all my shoes because I literally could not take them to my parents' house, and they were gone. Everything was gone. Had an Xbox, gone. So I never rebuilt.
That's trauma.
Yeah.
So did somebody break into your storage?
Yeah, but there was no evidence of it. Except they did leave a crowbar on the inside. But on the outside, I would have never known. The lock was in place. I don't know. To this day, I don't know how they got into my unit.
Wow.
But all my stuff was gone. It was definitely traumatic. I cussed out the poor lady that was there. I told her, I apologized. I said, I'm sorry, but you gonna get it. Like,
they didn't have cameras there?
No, they didn't work.
Wow.
And then she told me, yeah, you're not the only one. This happens here pretty often.
So that means it's people that work there.
Yeah.
Pretty much, it's people that work there, and when they have that
Inside
one day,
job.
when they have that one day when no one's working but them, hey, come on, homie, you good? Come on.
Yep, inside job for sure, because
Right.
it don't make sense. But after that, I'm like, okay, all the material stuff, no.
What year was that?
2018.
I'm trying to think. I know somebody was selling shoes.
We came up on some 6.5 shoes.
Oh, 6.5. No.
Yeah, I got baby feet.
Yeah, they sold them to little kids at elementary
I was
school.
looking too, but you know what?
You have to go to local elementary schools and see the little kids go on.
Yeah, and I would have known too.
Right.
I would have known, but thank God it was a blessing in disguise for 2 reasons. Number one, I learned a valuable lesson about not being so materialistic. But number 2, I needed the money that I got from insurance. I was struggling. I was dead broke when I moved back to LA. Thank God they forced me, which I then found out was actually illegal.
To force
Public storage forced me to get insurance, and then they had a class action saying that they're not allowed to do that. So it worked out, though. I'm glad that they did.
So they was probably getting a kickback from the insurance company for everybody signed up.
Yeah, maybe
they were stealing all the stuff.
Maybe so.
They was just, they was profiting.
But I got some coins,
So what do you do with your money now, other than dog?
Like I said, I have a Roth IRA that I invest in. I put money into weekly. Stocks. I'm not.
What kind of stock?
I'm not a stock person at all.
So how do you put money in stocks?
I got some Dogecoin to the moon. What else? I pulled out a Tesla a long time ago. Apple.
Why'd you pull out a Tesla?
It tanked, and I'm glad I did because before it went way down, I pulled. It went back up, but it took a long time. But it was tanking, so I pulled out. And
so you invested in Apple?
I do have, Apple. There's it's BYC. I think it's a black bank that I invest in. But yeah, a handful of things. I can't remember everything. My memory sucks. I'm so sorry.
You have money and stuff that you can't remember?
Yeah.
Then how do you
I have to see.
Monitor it?
On the app. I look at it
So
basically every day, but I can't,
How do you get the money
remember.
back? Like, say, for example, you invest in Apple and Apple hit an all-time high. How do you get your money?
Pulling out, I guess. I got to stop saying that.
Right, especially
But
you.
I mean, I'm not a financial expert at all. I know, so I don't know. You just gotta. It's risky. So
Right,
like
so I've never
Doge
understood.
shot up. Okay, so I put money in. Dogecoin was like at less than 1 cent, less than a penny. So I bought. I don't even know how many shares, and it skyrocketed. It got all the way up to like 30 cents, and I pulled money out because that's thousands of dollars. So I pulled some out, left some in.
How do you pull it out? What do you do? Who do you call?
You sell it.
Who has my money, though? I want to see my money in my hand.
You get it right there.
Oh,
like
so it's
you
like
sell
a cash app. You sell it and it goes to...
Yeah.
And then I could
Or
put
trade
it in my account.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I sold it at got some money out of it, and then you can do it when it's low too if it's going downhill.
Do they take money out to transfer my funds?
I don't know. I've never transferred it back into my bank. I leave it in the app and reinvest in different things. So I'm not
then
sure.
It's like virtual money.
If it is, it's probably like 10%, like PayPal, like $1. out of whatever year.
I tell PayPal is family and friends, and they don't charge me nothing.
That's possible.
Right. Well, all right, you've been very helpful today because I ain't know none of that.
Not really. I'm not an expert by any means. Yeah. I probably butchered whatever it is I just said. I just be making stuff up off the top, you know.
So you just be sitting here just saying whatever?
Nah. You'll never know.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Well, I can tell you this, that nobody wants to call you on your personal cell phone.
I know.
Ain't that something?
Nobody wanted to call you either. I was trying to get them to call you and ask you questions.
Yeah.
But they're not messing with us today.
Yeah, I guess
it's hot. People
yeah,
don't, you know,
hot.
they.
But no, people in New
and
York and Georgia, they just had a rainstorm or something out there on the East Coast, so they're not hot.
Would you move out of LA?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna move to Georgia. I am going to move.
Why? Why Georgia?
Because a young lady that works with me, her and her husband moved to Georgia, and they have 48 family violence classes, but they have 119 counties. So imagine there's 110 counties that if somebody gets into a fight with one of their family members and they get mandated to go to court, like domestic violence, they're going to go to somebody else's county. Why can't I go to their county and just set up shop? So me and my team have done training, and we're now commissioned for Georgia. Second calls in LaGrange, Georgia. So for $200,000, they got houses like the one you like up in View Park. So why wouldn't I do that? And have a nice backyard and maybe even put up an enclosure, put a barn up in the back if I got so much land, and have animals in there, and, you know, get me a dog that'll protect the animals from other animals. You know what I mean? No.
You know, I was gonna push back and talk some shit about you leaving LA, but I respect the mission, so I'm gonna leave it alone.
Right. But here's the thing: I'm born and raised in LA, so I have a bungalow in Inglewood, and I shouldn't have said that because I'm hiding from people. But anyway, but I'm not gonna let go of it, even though I'm renting it. Even though I'm renting it,
I won't let you.
Yeah, I'm staying with that, but I'm gonna go out there and make money. I don't know if you can probably use your calculator on your phone to count how much that is. But if a person, I can take 10 to 13 people.
Let's do it.
10 to 13 people.
Say
so let's just say 12. Okay, at $40 a person for an hour and a half class. How much is that?
$480.
So that's what happens at 9 o'clock. It's over at 10:30. 11 o'clock, put another $480.
All right. How many classes you going to have? We just going to multiply by what?
So 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock. In one
6?
day. No, that's 5.
Oh, shit.
Times 5. I know it's been a while. That's one day. Yeah, in an area, it's going to probably be rural areas. I'm not going to Atlanta.
You need somebody on your team?
You on the team. You want to be on the team.
But I get paid the same?
No, you would not. You would get a portion of that. You would get a portion.
Like 400?
Local Mike, you good? I'm on a podcast, brother. This is so unprofessional, huh?
Very.
7625 Central. All right. Yeah, that was very unprofessional of me, but he called me like 3 times, and but you have to. So stop and think to yourself, right? Let's just say I'm in Macon County, and you say, "Well, Skip, I got family over here in Cobb. I'm gonna go here." And we're doing these that's just one Saturday. That's not including I want to do 2-3 classes on Monday. I'll do 2 classes on Tuesday. I'll give myself a break on Wednesday. Matter of fact, I'll give myself a break Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm still generating. This is for second call. See, I got to feed the whole team. You know, even your boy Clover across the street. He's across the street right now. Sometimes I don't get paid in time to pay them. So I have to create other revenues to make sure that I'm paying my ambassadors, my job coordinator. So this right here will give me the opportunity to have revenue probably in the millions. You get it? Mm-hmm. So what I do is I don't put all that in my pocket. What is that, $2,400 in a day? Let's just say if I take 2 or 3 days to do that, what I do is I up my salary. So my salary, $19, $20 an hour, well, now I can afford it to be $25 an hour and not have to worry. And now I need to raise their salaries to $24.05 an hour. I'm going to $30 an hour. Do you get what I'm saying? So now I'm putting in 80 hours at whatever salary I want to put down. I'm bringing in the money. I'm not putting it in my pocket because it's a nonprofit. But see, that's financial
literacy.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So imagine this. I'm not the best at math, but if there are 48 family violence programs and 159 counties, that means there's at least 110, 111 counties that have absolutely no programs. You get that? I shouldn't have shared this. I normally charge $100. Somebody on their way to Georgia now going to try to beat me to it. But that's the plan. I think that's where I get to leave that legacy. I want to give my kids something to fight over. You know what I mean? Yeah, I need y'all
instead of just the van.
Yeah.
Or the shirts.
Yeah, because they're not going to get the van anyway. No, this shirt is 7 years old. This is dingy. It used to be a royal blue. It was a Crip color blue, and I wore it.
Wow.
I wore it until it's a blood colored blue now.
Yeah, that's about Navy.
Right.
That's amazing, though.
Yes.
That's amazing. You want to pull me out to Georgia?
Yeah, you want to go? You go. You go.
Are you licensed for anything?
Yes.
What?
I'm licensed in the state of Georgia as family violence facilitator and second call.
Oh,
but here in Los Angeles, I'm for domestic violence. I'm a domestic violence counselor for victims advocacy, but I'm also a facilitator of batterers intervention. So, yeah.
So how do people go about getting those licenses and qualifications?
Log on to Second Call, www.secondcall.org. See, I don't be out here saying how I get mine. See.
I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying to help y'all real quick, get y'all the scoop.
Who's that on your arm? Who's that?
Well, she needs to be touched up. She's a Native American woman.
Okay. And the TMZ? That's the Nipsey? TMC.
Yep. And then I got a tiger, which is my favorite animal, and then my stepmom, my dad, and my mom, which was interesting.
Your mom is Bonita?
Mm-hmm.
Bonita Applebaum?
Yeah. Should have seen when I showed her this tattoo.
She was mad at the other names.
She was very mad.
Like, why I couldn't get my own?
She just grabbed it and was like, that's nice.
Right.
I'm like, motherfucker. All right. I got your name. I barely even like you. What?
Yeah, so what do you think about stuff like that? Why don't you have a class on that?
What?
Because that's something that I can't teach people.
What?
To have an open, emotionally safe conversation about. Most people have animosity, bitterness, or some kind of aggression, a dislike with mom. And I'm not just saying let me tell you, in prison, I used to have these forgiveness letters. In the high schools, I had forgiveness letters, and about 80% were right to their mother. Mm-hmm. I need to forgive her for this and that or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, won't you have a class on that?
That's part of emotional intelligence, though.
Right.
Yeah, definitely is part of that. Forgiveness is a part of that. But I'm still working on it with my mom. You know, I've forgiven her for some things. Empathy is a huge part of emotional intelligence. It's one of the most important parts of it. So I'm able to empathize with things that she went through as a child, which is why she put me through some things as a child. And there's some that I'm just not able to empathize with. So I haven't forgiven her for it. I can't. I don't know how. I'm still trying.
So here's why I be charging $100. I'm going to give it to the audience. I'm going to get it to you for free.
Please.
So it's like having a bag of boo-boo. So imagine a dog. Your neighbor has a dog, poops in your yard every day.
Disrespectful.
This dog poops on your grass every day. You go pick up the bag of poop, put it in the blue bag, and say, I'm going to give it to this dude when I see him. So you wait there all day while he go to work, have a ball, got the little pocket. He got a little cute dog, one he has to protect, not one that protects him. Mm-hmm. And he goes to happy hours with the girls after, and they just having a ball. It's 8, 9 o'clock now. He's so drunk he comes home. And you have that bag of shit all day. And you hand it to him and cuss him out. You know, you say you do that, right? You cuss it up. People out. So you cuss him out and tell him about himself, this and that. He grabs the poop and he said, this is from my dog? And you say, yeah, your dog. He said, oh, man, thank you. He throw it in the trash. He go in the house and go to sleep. Who held the bag of shit all day?
Yeah.
You know? So the thing that I say about that is I don't want to hold the bag of shit, but then on top of that, it ain't even my shit. Why am I holding on to somebody else's shit when I could simply let it go?
I mean, I feel like you're right, but it's a lot easier said than done, especially when you try and have the conversations, the healing conversations, and it doesn't go the way that it needs to.
It would never go the way that I wanted
but
to go.
But it makes it harder.
I'm not going to say you, but let me tell you from me. So there are some things that I want to forgive my mother for. There's some things I want to apologize to her for. So you know what I have to do? I have to go get your dog. I have to go get one of my grandbabies and sit them in front of me and call them by the name, call them by my mama's name and say, look, this is what I want to say. Because if I say it to my mama, she's going to be like taking her earrings out, putting Baby Earl on, like, you've been feeling that way about me for... And next thing I know, we're going to be touching every wall in that building. So what I can't do is the healing is for me. It's not for her. Do you get that? Yeah. I have to heal. So if I'm expecting her to see things from my way, she wants me to see things from her way. It's not going to happen. So I got to get it. It's like food poisoning. I got to get it out of my body. I got to talk to somebody. And I'm going to tell you who's going to look at me and ain't going to say nothing. That dog.
That's true.
The dog ain't gonna talk back or none of that to me. So I gotta share my excitement with the dog or get one of these grandbabies and they just gonna look and laugh and think, this is crazy. What are you talking about? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's healing.
I will say too, though, I've really been working hard at it, and it sucks because she still has some of the same qualities that I have a problem with that are just not positive, qualities, just to put it like that. But I'm starting to just understand how to accept that some people are just going to be who they are.
That's it.
And it's, you can't really control it. But it's still hard because she's still in my life. And, right. I want her in my life, but not necessarily all of her qualities that are hard to deal with, Right. So it's difficult. Like, it's hard to balance that. It's easy. She lives in Mexico. So she's, out of sight, out of mind. I feel like I'm healed. I can talk to her every once in a while, and it's cool. But, like, she came to town. So she's been here, and I'm seeing her, here and there now, and so it's hard. It's difficult.
Right. So listen, if I tell you success starts on Imperial Highway in Crenshaw, that's where success starts. And we're standing right here, right now, and say, let's go to be successful. And as we're walking, and you see me talking to my son at 48th Street, are you going to keep walking or are you going to wait for me?
I'm not waiting for you.
Don't wait for me because I got distracted. So, matter of fact, if my son sees me in 48th Street and he's like, hey, where you going? Man, walk with us. Come on, let me tell you. I want you to come with me as I talk to you. So what I don't want to do is I don't want to stop what I'm doing. And now I'm not doing what I was doing now. And now my focus is on you. I don't care if you're my son, my mother, my friend, my girl, my dog. I need for everyone to see that I'm on a mission. And something you just said, Georgia, I was going to say something, but can I go? Exactly. Don't say, no, Skip, talk to me. Tell me why, Georgia. Don't stop me from going to be successful. Say, Skip, I want to see. Can I go? Can I be successful? Well, how much is the breakdown? Okay, we did the numbers. Is that mine? No, that's not yours. But you can, you know what I mean? But do you see the point is that I got to keep moving. What I can't do is I can't stop and wait on people. That's that emotional attachment. I love my mama, I love my sons, I love them, but I can't be emotionally attached to where I stop moving forward.
Okay, I got a question then.
Yes.
You feel like this is what rappers feel like or artists when, the community that they come from is like, oh, so-and-so up and left, they got successful and they left, they moved to Hollywood or wherever. But
people say that about me. I moved off of Washington and Arlington to Manchester and Crenshaw. And people say, oh, you moved away. I'm down the street. You feel me? But right. So look, Ty Dolla $ign, Nipsey Hussle. These dudes should move. You understand that? I wish I missed opportunities to have long talks with Nipsey. I don't know if he would influence me or I would influence him. But there's no way I would want him to be there so accessible. He's too accessible. And he's too important to the community to be so accessible that now we have to mourn his loss. So Ty Dolla $ign ain't doing the community stuff that he's doing. But he moved away, and everybody from my community is like, man, he ain't from around here. He is, man. I remember when he slept on the homeboy couch. I remember before he had a record deal. So, yeah, he's Hollywood now, and he should be, man. Enjoy it, homie. enjoy it, man. You did walk to the store when we walked to the store. You just didn't stay. You didn't smoke and drink yourself away. So, you know, there's other celebrities out here. YG should not be on Rosecrans in Wilmington. He'd be crazy to be over there. You know, he should be wherever he is. So I think that it's a powerful thing to get to a level to where I could move past the level I was on. Everybody play these video games. What do? They keep moving level to level to reach what they consider success. So it's the same thing with the acting. It's the same thing with the rapping. It's the same thing with the dogs. It's the same thing, seriously. I think we done did over our time. No,
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It's okay. We were a little late.
He said we got 1 minute, and still nobody want to call and talk to
and
Keilah?
talk to Skipp.
Wow, that's crazy.
And ask him questions.
Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all what's the Instagram page again?
K9, letter K, 9, Keilah, Keilah.
All right, go in there and look for that red dress, y'all.
Oh,
I bet y'all
my
call
God.
2 weeks from now. I bet y'all call in 2 weeks when you see that red dress. I bet you guys say, "Can
no.
I go to Georgia too?"
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
y'all
that
gonna-
was Miami.
y'all
Had me acting up.
Yeah, you was acting up.
I was.
Yes, indeed.
I don't step out like that often, but when I do,
All right.
that's how it goes.
All right. Well, I
right.
guess this is gonna be a wrap. Unless you wanna.
This was nice.
What's the last words you want to say to the people? People? Start off with people.
It's hot as fuck.
All right, out here in LA, it is
Stay cool.
hot. Yeah, stay cool.
Thanks for tuning in.
Hey, you know, out here in LA, I could buy 2 beers from a market the same price a bottle of water costs. So stay hydrated. Don't buy the beer, man. Get the water.
Facts.
Yeah, the life you save may be your own, man. Stay safe and sober during this heat.
Peace out. One love.
I ain't gonna lie, it's like I'ma spit some real shit for y'all right now. It's like, look, like when you grow up in the trenches, it's like society treats you different, man. Like look at you different. It's like, man, you coming from where we from, man. We rolling up, come with it.
Look, they treat you different when you from the trenches. Bitch, I didn't grow up in no burb, I grew up in the village. Tryna get that shit up off the curb, I turned it to a menace. I wasn't hanging around with no girls, bitch, I was hitting fences. Childhood trauma, take it back to about the age of 9. Gunshots sounding like fireworks on 4th of July. I told my sisters and cousins that we gon' be alright as long as we stay solid, protect each other through eerie nights. Childhood trauma, my mama, she worked a 9 to 5. Still managed to come home and feed us when it was dinner time. Still managed to curve on the visas up in the winter time. So back to school, we was popping like the beginning times. I won't let this childhood trauma try to take me out. It made me who I am today, won't let it stress me out. But babe, I learned from my mistakes, I'ma go with